So one of the first things I want to do is currently the KwikLink site is already up, and I'm going to share the GitHub after this event. I have my local host set up so that local host goes to dev.wtk.com. This would also work if I did 127. And here we are. And this is what we have with the initial setup from Wizards Toolkit, where I haven't done any coding at all yet. And this is what we start with, which already has some of the basics regarding editing your profile. But of course, we're going to want to change a lot of this for the KwikLink, which is similar to LinkTree or link.me. We're going to build something kind of like this. We're not going to worry about the marketing site for now. We're going to mostly just worry about making it look Wizards. Kind of like this, where you end up with being able to upload your photo as well as list your websites and your social media. And we will automatically put in the logos for the social media. So here we go. One of the first things I want to do is I want to discuss the design. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a login subfolder, because in the end, I want people to be able to put in something like their name and have it go directly to their card. Kind of like this, except with the KwikLink.com. All right. So let's do that first. All right. Here is my folder. And we have the app folder and the public. And that's because I'm using Nginx in Mocker. And so here I'm going to create a new folder. And the reason I want to create a new folder is I'm going to make an htaccess file that automatically changes the value to redirect to card.php. So first thing I want to do is I want to verify that my minor change there. Actually, I know I'm going to need this also. What this does is it lets the library know what the path is. All right. So now let's try this login. And sure enough, it's working. So we just moved that to a subfolder, which will allow us to do fun tricks with htaccess at the end. And what I'll do is I'll put all the pages that we're working on in this login folder. And when we have a marketing site, the marketing site will point to the login folder for people to log in. All right. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to change this side menu, because they really don't need hardly any of this. The reports are kind of nice, but this is not the best way for a KwikLink type of scenario. We want to leave them with the report bug and the logout, and maybe the my profile and definitely the dashboard, but they definitely don't need the rest. So let's get rid of those. All right. Right here, by the way, is what is defining that. And that is in the client funcs file, because every client is going to want to have their own navigation. And so we're going to just remove the report viewer, the chat list, the forum, the message list, leave the bug report. That. And you see it's passing in the header, and that ends up becoming this, and that is the company name. So we're going to leave that the way it is. Now I've already saved it. Now notice sidebar's changed. Let's see your company aspect. When you first download Wizards Toolkit, it gives you a WTK server info, and this has all the defaults. And then you can modify it here, and it will modify out the whole website. Here's where you can put in your own key, which is used partly for the password or for cookie password encryption. All right. And I'll fill in most of the rest of this later when I'm not online, when I'm not showing the screen. But we'll at least put in the company name. And later on, this is where you would put your Google API key, your Postmark or your PayPal. All your APIs go in here for allowing you to send emails via Postmark. Wizards Toolkit works with Postmark app or AWS SES, or using simple PHP mailer if you want to go the free route. I'll fill that stuff in later, as well as the PayPal email. We'll use PayPal for our e-commerce provider this time. Wizards Toolkit also works with Stripe and Checkout. All right. And now you see it says, welcome to KwikLink. Oh, since I changed the password, it changed the password. The password that I put in previously no longer works. So let me show you how you can quickly. Nah, I'm not going to make that part of this demo. I'll just go back to the original Wizards Toolkit and I'll put in the original password for now. Now it recognizes it, and there's KwikLink at the top. All right, what I think we're going to do is we're going to end up with widgets for the dashboard that show people how many views they've had, as well as allows them to edit their page. And let me show you one of the things that this is going to end up providing. I saw that LinkedIn had this cool QR code, and I liked the way it worked, and it would direct people to their LinkedIn account. So I added that QR code functionality to Wizards Toolkit, and now the mobile app on Wizards Toolkit has this QR code, and when you scan it, it goes to whatever the person has in their personal URL. And I chose that, which goes to this. And then I realized I can make this into a completely, this is a static page that I coded. Then I realized I can make this completely data-driven and have it be like LinkTree so that anybody could have a cool little thing. If you click on this, it will allow you to add it to the address book, and this will go to my my Calendly page, allow people to schedule appointments, and these go to the social media. So I decided I should just make this into a build in public. All right. Here we have the tagline out, and here is the tagline default. So let's just change that really quick. We'll come up with a better tagline later, but at least we have something there. Linking the world. All right. Oh, great. I just put that in the wrong repository. That's why you check everything, even the simplest things. There we go. Put it back to the way it was. All right. Linking the world. There we go. Welcome to KwikLink. And of course, you can change all of this as well. This is just the default login and forgot password and create account functionality that comes with Wizards Toolkit, but everything is open source and you can modify this to your heart's content. All right. So let's start by updating the user profile page. We'll leave that there for now. We don't want the personal URL. I'm using Firefox. I just like it for debugging purposes. And if we click here, we see that this is opening up user edit in the WTK folder. So let's go to user edit to do our modifications. Verify I'm in the correct folder, KwikLink. All right. We're not going to need the personal URL because that's used if you only have one URL. And this website is all going to be about doing multiple web links. All right, so I'm going to start with making it like this. For simplicity, I'm going to reduce it to one phone and have it be the cell phone. The new file name is where it saves the file upload, and this saves the path. We're going to leave it with the default path. Wizards Toolkit already does a password strength check. That's the way it is. But let's get rid of the personal URL. So what this is saying is if the current one being edited is the same as the person logged in, the person's logged in, their ID is saved in the global PHP variable user UID. Then it offers the additional languages. We'll leave this in here for now, but I'm going to hide it. I'm going to comment it out because I don't want to deal with the multi-language options for the website at this time. We might deal with it later, but not right now. This defaults the image height and width. I'm going a little bit quick. If anybody has questions, feel free to post them. Otherwise, I'm going to just code away. Let's see. This is from reports. We're not going to need that, so I'm going to remove it. That's if you can have your reports allow editing of anything, and if you have your report point to the user edit, then it will allow editing, but we don't want that. for this website, because you don't want anybody to be able to edit anybody else's information. We're going to make the user edit only editable by the person who owns it. Get rid of the phone. All right. Save. Let's go back. Oh, you may have noticed that I need to put back in the language, because I saw that it had the cancel button was now in Spanish. Yeah. See, now it says cancelar and guardar. That's because that's Spanish for cancel and save. All right. And use our Skype para llamadas and photo. It does a lot of the language translation automatically, and it could easily do first name and last name also. It's all data driven. But as I said, I don't want to deal with that right now. That is something fun that we can deal with later. Now I see to save as English, and you see that everything's back to English. This is going to cause problems, so I'm going to just comment that out too. In fact, let's do it like this so it's less confusing if I ever put that back in. All right, we got rid of the unnecessaries. Now, let's get rid of the Skype for calls. We're not going to have that feature. All right. Now let's add the new columns. Now earlier I created this file, which does the SQL, the new SQL options. So I want to add all of these to the user edit table. So let's do that. There we go. Add those to the select statement. Now, okay, so the show address link and show email and show cal, those should be checkboxes. I look at this and I say, let's put those below cell phone. I'm going to close the current div row, create a new div row, just so it's nice and clean. Okay, I'm using Atom. I have snippets defined to help me create all of the main WTK form functions. So this will be, if you don't put in a label, it will automatically use the column name, and it will insert spaces before the capital letters. So I'm going to just remove that. We'll leave that there. And then show email and show locale. Since this is going to have the same yes, no, I'm just going to copy and paste that. Oops. All right. This is using the grid. So grids are always based on 12. So I'm going to change that to M4. And that way we'll have 3 checkboxes across. They're all using the same values of yes or no. And here we go. Show address link, show email, show locale. Wizard's Toolkit automatically handles the logic of checkboxes regarding the fancy JavaScript necessary to know when it's checked or not checked and saving the data. So I'm going to say yes, yes, and yes on these. Actually, for a demo, I'll leave that as no. Save it. Come back. You see that these saved as yes. These saved as no. All right. What other columns did we have? Yes, background type, color 2, and background image. So for the background type, the options are none, color, gradient, or image. Let's code that. There's 2 different ways we could do it. We could do it as radio buttons, or we could do it as a drop list. Let's go as radio buttons. I do WTR for Wizard's Toolkit radio form field. And here, now I did a char 1, so we're only going to save the first letter. All right. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Background type. There we go. Radio buttons. All right, kind of cool. Let me see. User photo. Do we need to have a description on this? Nah, not at first. Let's get this working first, and then we can enhance descriptions on labels. But I will put in that. All right. Let's see. No, that was wrong. All right, we're going to leave that off for now. There we go, your password. So, next item. All right, if they choose, we need to add the capability of choosing a color and choosing 2 colors if they want gradient. All right, let's do that. What we'll do, field WTK users. background color. And we'll go with M6, S12. And here we can add, because this is just going to fill the class styles. So we can actually add height in there. Let's do that. And let's also do this. Let's say this in a temporary variable and then do a replace on that and say, let's look at this. All right. So we have a type equals radio. And we'll do a JavaScript. There's a very nice explicit. All right. There we go. So we'll have it called show hide background options as a JavaScript function passing this value. And let's just add that down here. And just to show that it works. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot to then add the temp. I could do it here, but I kind of like to be a little more explicit and do it like this. Especially because you might want to do more than one replace. And also this just makes it a little bit more explicit and less confusing for other people looking at it later. Note, C, G. All right, so that's working great. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to say if C or G, then unhide this. So let's figure out where this is. All right, so this made, let me see. Here we have this hidden right here. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take this one and also save it to a temp. Change that to ID equals and then we'll copy that again. Now down here we'll say I have this doing the indif syntax because that's what I prefer for PHP. And since I'm in a PHP file, it's defaulting that. That's okay. I'll just manually change it. So now I have it say if G or C, which would be color or gradient, we will do an unhide. There we go. Background color 1, unhide. And we'll say else hide it. Okay, so that way it will hide that if it is image or none. Okay. Oh, there it is. I also need to get rid of the alert. And when you're in doubt as to what the parameters are, here's where you find them. You go to public, WTK, lib, and for these form fields, they're going to be in materialize. So here I see all the parameters, and I think I screwed something up there. So first one's the table name, then the column name, then the type, text, and then the label. And the label, as I said, will default to the column name, and it will add a space there, so we can leave that. And then the column side. So let's, and then you can force whether or not you want it to be required, and you can add help text if you want. This is a problem, and that's probably because I didn't pass in the text. So let's try that again. There it is, background color. All right. Nice, but not what we want. So let's look at something else that is a free utility within Wizards Toolkit. We'll go to in here. All right. This is really cool involving color picking. So let's look at that. So this is how the CSS maker works for Wizards Toolkit. And here you see at the top, we have this gradient, and I can change the gradient, and it changes in real time. I want to steal this code and use it so that people can use that for making a gradient in their KwikLink. So how do we do that? One thing, we need to use the, let's see, where is it? Right here. So we're going to want to add this for the JS color minimum. And we should do that in our core file so that anybody who logs in gets this feature. What else do we need? Here's the actual color. Let me see. I think this is a core style, W72. It just makes the width 72 pixels. Now I'm trying to remember what made it so that it would. Let's see, is it this? Sure enough. All right, as a test, I'm going to it's been a long time since I've used JS Color. So let's see what happens if I just put this in here. Sometimes the easiest way to test something, just build it. I could spend 15 minutes reading all the documentation, or we could just try it like this. See what happens. Okay, it's not popping up, and that's probably because I didn't put in some of the JavaScript. Make a picker. Right there. I bet you that's what's necessary. All right. JS Color trigger. All right, let's try this. We'll put this at the bottom and get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right. So this is passing in. Let's do a search on this. This is passing in things like this. Gradient left. So it's passing in that. So I think I just need to have it pass in that. So where we have a background color, so I'm going to change this to, let's test this theory out. Back color 1. Back color 1. And then down here, we'll say back color 1. And let's see if that does everything. Oh, no, of course not. I have not reloaded the page so that I can pull in the JS Color. Sure enough, here we get an error on JS Color. But that's because I hadn't reloaded the page. All right. So now let's log in. Go to my profile. Looky there. Isn't that cool? All right. So what we're going to do is to do that for this. And then we'll have this really cool JS Color feature where people can choose their background. right. I'm going to leave this here for a moment. And we see we need to do this. And we'll put that. Where do we want to put that? It's got to be on the input. All right. Let's look at the input to just make sure I got it right. Here we see background color, input type equals text. Let's put that in there. So it doesn't do it on the hidden field. All right. Okie dokie, that will be there. Oh, we want to add the W72. All right. And let's try that. Color. There it is. Oops, there's the wrong one. Did I forget to do this again? Background color. That's on the div, not on the input. So that's okay. This should be there. Am I getting errors? Sure enough. Ah, CSS root not defined. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We don't need this function. Because that was providing the ability of changing the CSS style throughout the whole page. And we're not doing that here. So I will get rid of this completely. Comment it out. Color. CSS root. Did I not save it? Oh, it's giving us an error here. I'm going to get rid of that. Because obviously when you have one JavaScript error, it breaks the rest of the JavaScript on the page. All right. It's giving me that again. Yep, I'm in the right folder. Sure enough, I'm getting it again. Where is that happening? I don't see it in here. All right. First, before I forget, I'm going to add a feature here. The naming convention on columns is WTK and then the table name and then the column name. So we got WTK and then the table name is WTK users and the column name is background actions. I mean background colors. But it was easier for me to just grab it and for me to type it out. All right. Let's look at this code. It's giving me an error on set CSS root. That should be around this area. Background type, that looks good. Background color. Background color. And here is the hrefs. All right. Maybe it had something cached. So let's go all the way out. We'll go all the way back in. Right now, this is looking good. Okay. Hey, no error. So maybe it was a cached issue. But that did not show the thing I expected it to show. That's okay. We'll do. We'll put the alert back in here. I go back in. All right, it's recognizing that, but it's not showing this. See, maybe the ID is not being assigned properly. Sure enough, look, there's no ID assigned. Oh, that's because I added the W72. See, I added the W72, and now this isn't finding it. Yeah. Okay. Now it will work. Color. There it is. And it's working. And now if we save it, it will save it, which is kind of cool. All right. So let's but the 72, which is supposed to make it shorter, is not working. Let's see what's with that. Oh, yeah. Because in my search and replace, I probably am not putting that 72 in. There we go. All right. One other thing we need to do is we need to pull in the background type. PV background type. A SQL value says pull it from the select list. Here we're doing select. Here we're doing a get row, and on the get row, it's pulling it all into a global array, and this pulls it out of the global array based on the column name. So I'm saving it into here, and what I'm going to do is say, first off, let's get rid of this. We no longer need that. I'm going to say if background type so first I'm going to go up here. I'm going to let it save it. And I'm not going to put in the hide. And now here, because if it's already a color or a gradient, we want it to show. So here I'm going to say, and let's make it this. Now, when there's only two, I think it's more intuitive to have it explicitly like this. We'll say if C or G. No, actually, we need to do the opposite. If none or image, then we're going to add in, I don't want that, rep. We'll just do a search for this, and we'll append it with hide, which means down here we need to change this to exclude that whole hide thing in case we're not hiding it. And this is just adding the ID so that we can hide it if they change that. All right. Color. Oh, it's probably giving an error now because there's no picker down here. So we need to get rid of this. And now that should work. Color. Sure enough, there it is. All right. I don't know why it's not 72. Let's see. So we see that JS Color is adding a lot of info here for the color capabilities. Cool. And up here, the input does have the W72. All right. And the BK. Okay. Let's give it the alert. I'm going to save it and verify that it saves properly. Didn't like something. And it did not save it properly. Let's see. So now we can log into the back office and we'll view the logs, the error logs. It did not save the error log. All right. Let's see. That looks fine. Oh, I forgot to delete it from here. So it was defined twice. That was the problem. All right. Let's do this again. Color. All right. I'm going to close this off. Hit save. No more problems. It was defined twice, and that's what made the problem. And now if we go back and we say edit again, well, it saved this, but it didn't save that. Let's see what happened. Call to save. Background color, it sure enough did put it in there. The 7 characters. let's look at the data table. All right, we'll go down to users, structure, background color. Char 6, it needs to be a char 7. My bad. And background color 2 is a char 1. Okay, both of these need to be changed to char 7. 7. And 7. Yep, it should be allowed as null. And now, because I will be running these later, I will change those here. All right, because we'll be doing this on the production database later. All right, so now there we go. Why did it not save? Oh, it did save. It saved and it's not showing properly. Let's figure out why. So if we go back here and we go into here, we can see what this brought in. Background color, it is correct. So it's correct, it's showing it, it's defaulting the radio button properly, but this is not showing the value we expect. If we click in here, sure enough is showing FFF, but shows here that the original value was the 68 FF07. So this might be a JS color problem. All right. Fun times. All right. I'm going to just show what this value is right here. Background color is, see, it's showing the correct value, and then here it's not. So something's wrong with JS color, the JavaScript library. Make a color. It's kind of a bad naming convention here, class. So let's change that. Let's see. Call this element. Func element ID. Replace. All right, var my, let's see, var my picker. I'm going to comment this out to see what happens. Add class JS color. So here it's trying to get the property value. Well, let's see what happens. Well, it's blank. Looks like I broke everything. Oh yeah, the preset dark is what shows the box around it. All right. I'll make that a LED. See, now it's got the JS stuff, and there's the box around it, but it's defaulting to F. Let's figure out why. I get property value. Let's try. Yeah, I think this is incompatible code. Let's try it like this. I bet you that doesn't. Now be pulling in the, but why is it even doing that? So here it's saying it's setting the value to the value. What? Oh, there's a problem right there. There was a problem. We don't need either of these. It just needs to add the JS color and then set the picker on the JS color. Okay. I bet you that fixes it. All right. There we go. There's our ugly color. Now we can save it. Now we go back, and there it is. All right. So let's get rid of this unnecessary code. That was important for the CSS maker, but definitely not important here. And now we can also get rid of this background color, that. And we want to have all the exact same thing for background color too. So let's do that. We're going to change this to M4 S12 and make this M4 S6. And because I want this to work for both, I'm going to do it like this, where I add the second one here. And in a moment, I'm going to have to make it hide differently. But for the moment, let's do it like this. No, I'm going to have it hide differently, so I can't do it like this. All right, forget it. Forget about it. All right, so I'm going to say background 2. And here it should only show if it's gradient. So we're going to say if it doesn't equal G, then hide it. All right. And then we'll give it a background color too, so it can be unhidden. There we go. And now down here, we got to say show hide options. Let's just do this separately. All right. I could have done it where it was part of in here, but I think that's unnecessarily confusing. So I'm going to just do it here. It's more intuitive this way. only when gradient do you need the background color 2 option. So let's now look at this. And now we see the background 1, background 2. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Color 2. Yeah, this needs to start with the new one, not appending the old one. And that should do it. I'm still curious as to why the 72 isn't working, but we'll get back to that. All right, now we got the background color 2, but it shouldn't be showing unless we're on gradient. So there must be a JavaScript error. All right, so if it doesn't equal G, then hide it. And then down here, the only time we're removing it is if the function value equals G. Then it removes hide, otherwise it hides it. And there it's doing those two. Now, what is with this? Oh, I think that here's the problem. Let's see, W72. Shouldn't that be in there instead of in the input? Where do I have it over here? It's in the form input. It's not in the div. All right. So let's emulate that. First, let's test it here. Get rid of that. Oops. And that did not affect it. Let's see if there is another style sheet here that I need to include. Material in CSS. Now, all right. Let's try to brute force it. First off, form input. I don't see that even in there. I'm not sure where that's defined. Okay, let's see where W72 is defined. Okay. Oh, it's defined in here. Great. So that's why. So how do we want to deal with this? Let's make a custom sheet. That's what we'll do. That way we can put all the custom styles that we need for KwikLinks into its own little thing. So I'm going to just do that here. Say save as KwikLink.css. There we go. Now in here, we'll say KwikLink. There we go. And now let's look at this page again. W72. Yeah, we don't want it there. That's not even where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in the input field. So let's look at where that actually is. Form input. Now let's look at the one I haven't edited. Okay, so apparently when it opened the page, it has nothing. Let's verify. Sure enough, there's no class. So I will just do a search and replace on that. Get rid of all these 72s. There we go. Gone, 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 gone. All right. There we go. All right. Now let's try it. Oh, obviously we need to log out so that it can get the new CSS style in there. KwikLink CSS. There we go. Now it's the right size. Now, but it shouldn't be showing background color too when it's on color. So let's fix that. If it's not G, then hide. Oh, I'm doing a hide on 6 when I've changed it, when I set it to 4. All right. There we go. In fact, all these M6s need to be changed to 4. All right. There we go. But it's still showing. All right. If it's not G, then change this. Okay, we didn't get the ID in there. Probably because more of these S6s and I did S12s. All right, getting sloppy. I see I need to eat. All right. Okay. Doing a search and replace, you got to change everything. Of course. There we go. Now it's not showing properly, and it is showing. We'll set the gradient. We'll save it. Verify. Came in with gradient. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I put that there. Let me remove that. And it's saving properly. Change the colors just to verify. Yes, looks great. Say like that, like that. Oh, it should be hiding this when I go to that. Let's fix that. G. Let's see. There's a W72 I had to get rid of. All right. None. Gone. Image. Gradient. Color. Perfect. All right. Later on, I'll copy and paste that JavaScript into a KwikLink.js. But for now, it's nice to just have the JS in there so I can make changes quickly. Okay, moving on. I'm looking at the to-do list. All right, we need to make some widgets for navigation and add QR functionality. Let's and also add the ability to list social links. Let's do that next. Actually, let's add something to the back office. Okay, I call it the back office, the admin. This is where we can create things and manage DevOps. So first thing I want to do is I want to make a new PHP page for our social links data table. So we're going to go in here, say social sites. And this is for like Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, etc. So there's a SQL table. This is UID, security level 1. Everybody will be security level 1 that's using it. Actually, no. I'm going to make it 50. Only back office people can, tech staff can use it. We don't want people adding new social sites. Website name and icon. Social media sites. Sure, let's put in the website name as a quick filter. Yeah, we do have a del date, so we'll leave that there. I use del date as a way of not really deleting. Instead of deleting data, you can set a del date and then it won't be displayed, but it still exists. For example, if Facebook goes under, we can delete it so people can have that as an option, but previous people who chose it would still exist and would not break the relational integrity. All right. No, we can go to. All right. And these are those. Social sites. Social list. Social site. Edit. Yes, add it to my menu data. I will then copy this so that I can run it on the production server later. Once I have things in the production server. All right. And that just created 2 PHP pages. The PHP pages were created in the admin folder. And we can see them right here. Here's one of them, and here's the other one. And it's already showing up. Here's the working list. And I can go in here and say, let's put in Facebook. And here's where we put in the icon HTML. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to change that a little bit, but let's just steal the code here. And then we'll paste it there. Now I see this is using Font Awesome instead of materialized CSS fonts. So I'll have to add that. No big deal. Let's add the YouTube one while I'm in here. Here's the LinkedIn. And we'll add the YouTube one. Copy and paste, that way there's never a typo. Okay, so we just created these 2 web pages and then used them to add data to the database. In fact, if we come in here and we look at social sites, you'll see there's our data where it automatically increments the UID, adds the add date, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So now let's add it to, here we should have social. There's our social media sites. We just added that. I'm going to say this will always be in the admin folder. And then let's add it to one of the menu structures. Up here are menu structures so that I'll put it underneath client control so that I can get to that page later. So here's the client control. And then we see 80s here. So we'll just put it in number 90. Social media sites. Boom. And now we'll see it's here. And it's a little bit too long. So let's change the name. Social sites. Let's make it just social media. Then we have social media down here. We can jump in here and we can add more. Like I'm going to add blue sky. But I don't have an icon for blue sky yet. I don't know if that exists. We'll find out. All right. So now let's, before I forget, we'll copy in the Font Awesome. Here they are. So let's copy that in to our spa page so everybody has access to it. That's not really necessary. You could have it hard path, but this way it works from, if you're calling the pages from a different folder, it will work. Makes it very dynamic. All right. I should also copy that in from the other repository so I don't forget. Let me do that real quick. Copying it from the website. All right. One more second. Okay. Added. I'll upload it to Get later. But there they are. Oh, already existed. Okay, great. All right. Next. Let's see what's next on my list. Well, we can make the card or add the ability. Oh, yeah, we need to add the ability so people can now add their social links. What's the best way to do that? Got 20 more minutes, and then I'm calling it for lunch. Actually, let's work on the card. Probably because it will just be fun. All right. Last night, I created a V card, which pulls in the user's information and creates a V card. We're going to do something similar for pulling in their information to make this. So let's work on that next. And when in doubt, you have code that works somewhere else, steal it to work in the new location. So that's what I'm going to do. Here is my current page. And we're going to create it up here. All right. Login required false. So basically, it can work for anybody because you don't want to require logging in for somebody to see your LinkedIn, your LinkTree type card. All right. Let's make this into a HTML template. And what I'll do is I'll put it in the login folder. There we go. And now we'll remove anything that is that should be data driven. Let's get rid of the chemical altogether. All right, we already got the font awesome in there. And we're going to just change this to tokens. Username. User title. Now there's two theories on this. You can either have this, if the user title exists, then it puts in all this information, or you can say if it doesn't exist, then it deletes all this information. It's really 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm going to leave it like this for now. User email. I like doing a ampersand before and after tokens that are to be replaced. We're going to check to see if they want to show their location or not. So I am going to have this be done differently. Let's go to card. Whoops, that is not what I expected to see. All right. Okay. I'm going to replace the entire location if they've chosen to do the location with this text. All right. And that will include the BR. BR. And now we have a feature we say, do you want to show your address? That will also generate the VCF. So I'm going to have this entire thing also be generated if they choose the show address. And as such, no, let's have it include even the S6. The yeah. Address VCF. Do it like that. V card. All right. Do we want to have people easily link to their calendar? That would be similar to this, calendar scheduling. Yeah, let's do that. I'll add that as an extra feature. We'll call this calendar link. And that'll be the calendar link. So basically, when I finish the card.php page, what it'll do is it will say, if there's a calendar link, then replace it with this code, and except with their actual calendar link. And if there isn't, then delete this. when it pulls in the HTML template. Now websites. We'll do it like this: website links. And now I can get rid of this. Again, I'm going to move that to here. And we'll do fine tuning after we're done. And now social profile. Let's do that as social media. Okay, and then down here, this is just the loader that does the loader image while it loads up. Okay, just remember we have a show email as one of the options. So if they don't want to show the email, then we shouldn't show any of this. So I'm going to say show email. Okay. All right. So now we have this as our, oh, we should change this to, all right, username. This way it shows up in the title. So as you can see over here in the browser, it says my name at the top. All right. You could probably get rid of some of this, but I'm going to leave it in for now, and I will optimize this later. Meanwhile, now let's do it like this. Okay, this is how the card looks. So one of the next questions is, will there ever be a time when people don't upload a photo for themselves? And the answer is, of course. So we should change the photo to be user photo. And now we can put that in here. Okay. All right. Good. So that is the empty version or the HTML template of this. All right. Off to a good start. Now we'll just build this really quick. We'll base it on the V card. So we'll go template equals wk load include, and this will be in the login folder card.html. Right. Make this username just so it's consistent. All right, now we can say something like this. You know what? I want to make this simpler. I have a snippet called rep. I do that. It does that, and it does it with the temp variable. So I'll keep it like this. So I'm going to say everybody's going to have a username. And we'll make username a required field. And up here you see I'm using a, oh, I'm not. Oh, that's horrible. All right, let's, one of the things, I have a snippet for, oh, it is doing a coalesce. Okay, well, this is assuming that people have at least their first name defined. Yeah, we're going to leave that. No, you can never assume users are going to do anything right. So in case some user leaves a blank first name, which would be saved in the database as null, we'll change it to a blank space last name. All right. So now we got this. And now we'll just change a couple of these other items. I think that we did it as user title. Yeah. Let's get some consistency here. And what we'll do is we're going to say I have ifn, which is for if not blank. If title is not blank, then we'll replace title with title. Actually, we'll do it like this. Else we'll blank it out. Like that. So we have the two spans. Let's do it like this just so it's a little bit clearer. All right. All right, let's do same thing over here. We'll say if not null or if not blank. Photo. I should just do it like this. And let's start with that before I do anything else. So I'm going to comment all that out. And then here I'm just going to say show echo. Now go like this. Oh, we need to get rid of the security. Go. Now it won't do that. For now, now. I'll set it to 1 for now. Later on, we'll make it the second parameter is a default if nothing is passed. All right, there's the info. So, oh, I should change it like this, like this. right. Well, it's pulling in the HTML template properly. And here's doing the get row. Let's see what it's putting in there. One. I saw something show up real quick. Let's see what this actually did. Okay, there's the name. No title. There's the name. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, it's got under card image, and there's no card image. So that's why that is causing a problem. Yeah. If you go in here and we look on cards, we see this cool stuff. So what I'm going to have to do is say if there's no image, then don't use that HTML. So let's do that really quick. The easiest way to do this will be to just remove this. If there's no user photo, remove that, but leave the card title and the card content and everything else. So in here, we're going to say rep boom blank. Now there's the Alex Sherman. All right. Not positioned properly. At least the data is starting to show up. So card, yeah. If there's no image, then the title shouldn't be out here at all. It should be down here in the card content. So I'll have to do something a little bit more clever than this. All right. No problem. So what we'll do is we'll say if there's no photo, then user info equals what we'll do is we'll say if there is a photo, then we'll do it like this. And we're going to move all this stuff down here. And if there is no photo, then we're going to change it to user with photo. User without photo. Okay, so we'll say if there's no photo, then that gets blanked out. There is photo. The user without photo gets blanked out. All right. And user info. If there is a photo, it's going to be like this. And user info, if there's no photo, it'll be like that. All right. And that way I can get rid of all of this. It'll be one or the other. Let's try it. Let's get rid of my echo. User without photo. Ah, yeah, I forgot to do that part. All right. So user info goes right there. And user info goes here. There we go. All right, making progress. Where's my user title? User title, user title. If it's blank, it should be changing to blank. All right, so let's do a quick check on if I upload a photo, does it work? Oops, photo too big. Let's try a different photo. I need to change that. User photo. All right. Right. I change that to be a little bit more. Let's see, where do we have the image? There we did. Okay. There we go, photo. But looky there. All right, so what this needs to do is this just has to go below here. Like that. Now we got it. Let's get the user title working. User title. Oh, probably because I don't have a title. Let's see. Oh, in fact, we removed that. Well, we didn't have that on there. So let's go in here. We'll say, let's add title. Sure enough, it's not even in here. And so we'll put it right before email. See. Title. Okay. Now if we put in title tech wizard, and then in the card, we make sure we got title. If title is not blank, then oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense. All right. There we go. Now it's got Alex Sherman Tech Wizard. Okay, now I'll just fill out the rest. So far, I haven't uploaded anything to the website, but I'll take care of that next time. Thanks for joining the Build in Public. It's coming along, and we'll finish it up next time.